Hello, my name is Sprague Brody, and I'm a second-year MBA at the Tech School of Business at Dartmouth. I'm also a research fellow at the Center for Digital Strategies. I'm pleased to welcome Christopher Mines, a Senior Vice President at Forrester, Inc. He's here today to talk with us in the Brit Technology series. This year's Brit Technology series is centered around the Internet of You. It's the idea of the always connected consumer meeting with the Internet of Things. Chris, could you talk a little bit about what this idea means to you?
Sure. Sprague, at Forrester, we do research on how consumers are adopting technology and changing their behavior as a result, and how companies are adapting to the fact that consumers carry around companies and brands and products and stores in their pocket now. They've been given they're giving companies the privilege of carrying around their little app on their smartphone everywhere they go, and interacting with those companies on a much more personal and much more pervasive basis.
What are some of the elements you think that have come together to really cause the Internet of Things and the Internet of You to explode now as opposed to, say, 5 years ago?
Yeah, it's a concept we've been hearing about for more than a decade, how the Internet was going to connect your refrigerator and your car and your home to home base, to analysis systems and maintenance systems and the like. I wouldn't say explode. I think this is a slow, steady burn. I think the pace of adoption is accelerating, but there's not a big knee in the curve coming up. I think rather we're going to see slow, steady spread of Internet of Things adoption from industrial to commercial to consumer sectors of the economy. Some of the catalysts that are helping push that are lower prices for technology components. Sensors that used to cost $100 now cost $1. The smartphone explosion. There's a lot of sensory equipment and components within smartphones, GPS, accelerometer, thermometer, etc., that give us all the notion of being connected and being able to establish context. Where are we? What are we doing? How fast are we moving? What altitude are we at? Systems know these things now about people, and increasingly know them about things as well. Broadband connectivity is an important element of the equation. That becomes ever more pervasive and low cost for consumers and businesses to stay connected all the time as opposed to sporadically. Analytics software, the magic back at home base that is aggregating and interpreting and analyzing and recommending on the basis of the stream of input from those connected things or connected people is 5 or 10 years ago was the province of highly specialized computing systems, hundreds of thousands of dollars of investment for businesses to spool up analytic software systems. Those are now available in the cloud on a sort of pay-per-use basis. So there's a variety of technology catalysts. Basically the familiar story in the technology industry of better, faster, cheaper, sooner coming along across the whole range of components that make up the Internet of Things. I think the other important element of the equation is our own individuals' expectations about being connected. We just don't go off the grid much anymore. Before I walked in here, I was texting one of my teenagers about what time pickup will be this evening. I mean, that whole set of expectations around being connected, being available on an interpersonal basis and on a business, a consumer to business basis, I think has just elevated all of our expectations and all of our behavior. Companies are trying to respond to that in very radical ways by serving customers wherever, whenever, however they can. And I think that sort of behavioral change and expectation change on the part of consumers is one of the biggest drivers. It's not so much about the technology. It's using the technology to change the way we behave and change the way we interact with companies that we do business with.
Specifically, you were talking a little bit about kind of the impact on the business world and all these radical changes that it's having. What are some of the specific impacts you see connected devices having on the enterprise?
Right. Well, the impacts vary depending on which sector of the economy or which industry that we look at, but we put the impacts or the results that companies are trying to get from implementing Internet of Things, connected world systems in three categories. One is optimize their use of resources and assets, use the machinery, the people, and the financial assets of the company in more efficient, more effective ways, raise the utilization rate of a vehicle fleet, extend the life of mechanical equipment in a factory or in a water and sanitation system for a municipal government. So optimizing resources, number one. Secondly, differentiating products and services, adding capabilities to do preventive maintenance, to upgrade products that previously were a one-time purchase, creating them, making them more of a service, making them more of an ongoing purchase. And that bleeds into the third transformation that companies are looking for, which is to change the way they engage with their customers. Rather than making a one-time purchase transaction, I buy the appliance, I walk out of the store, and the manufacturer never sees me again. Maybe I send in the warranty registration card. Probably I don't. But a smart appliance, a connected car, a smart thermostat establishes an ongoing relationship between the consumer and the manufacturer of that product. Here comes the maintenance upgrade. Here comes a new software download. Here comes preventative maintenance capability that says, you know, we're detecting that some bushing in your toaster is about to wear out. Here's a new one. That kind of relationship between a manufacturer and a customer, they covet that big time and are investing in making their products smarter and more connected in order to establish and maintain an engagement, a relationship with a consumer that they've never had before.
What are the biggest questions that you see CIOs asking about the Internet of Things? You've kind of explained a lot of the different ways that it's changing their business, but what is on the top of their mind?
Well, let me say first of all that CIOs, the IT leaders or business technology leaders within companies are often not the drivers of implementing connected world systems. It's oftentimes operational executives, supply chain, logistics, facilities, other kinds of operational folks who are the drivers and funders of putting these kinds of systems in place. Where it lands in the CIO's lap is oftentimes two things that are not necessarily thought about by their compatriots in the business at the beginning of the process. One is interconnection with other systems. So architectural compatibility, data model compatibility, network protocol compatibility, connected world systems that reach out to consumers or products or things in the world are most useful when they can connect back into the systems of record that a company operates, its databases, its ERP systems, its financial systems, and the like. So that interconnection process typically lands in the CIO's lap. And of course, we try to help our clients recognize to do that sooner rather than later, but oftentimes it does happen kind of late in the game. The other thing that lands on the desk or lap of the CIO is security. And again, something that is oftentimes not thought about, or at least not systematically at the beginning of a process, but very soon afterwards it becomes evident to all the implementers and potential users, hey, you know, we've got data here that is, while it ups the connectivity and ability to engage with our customers for the business, it also represents vulnerability. We don't want those connected cars being hacked. We don't want our customers' driving data to be visible to outside forces, the bad guys. So privacy and protection of that data that these connected world systems are gathering is a huge, oftentimes barrier to implementation or barrier to widespread use. I mean, we see consumers in Southern California pushing back on having smart electric meters in their home because Big Brother is going to be watching their electricity usage. And consumers reflexively don't like that. So the privacy assurances have to be watertight and very visible to the users of these kinds of systems. That's a big time issue for CIOs and an important reason for them to get involved in understanding the connected world systems and partnering with their other executives in the business to help implement those systems.
Mm-hmm. So you talked about security as a major challenge, privacy as a challenge, and also kind of the interoperability.
Right.
What do you see as the other kind of major challenges in the ecosystem, not necessarily that's just being faced by the CIO?
Internet of Things and the connected world is something that's going to spread slowly. This is not hockey stick kind of adoption by industries. It's complex. It's something new for many companies. You're wiring up physical assets that really have not been part of computing systems. Computing systems have done a great job in many industries dealing with bits. When it comes to the media business, when it comes to the financial services and professional services business, handling bits, digitized things that are already digitized, the internet's done a wonderful job of organizing and making accessible the digital world. What we're talking about here is connecting that digital world to the physical world. That's a whole different realm of operation for IT systems. It's something that is putting software control over physical devices is something that is unfamiliar, a little scary to both the business implementers as well as the ultimate end consumers for it. So companies have found it, I think, attractive in concept, difficult in implementation, difficult to build business cases to justify it. Gosh, we'd love to have ongoing engagement with our customers. But when we sharpen our pencils and really try and calculate the ROI on doing that, things get difficult fast. So I think we see continuing spread of these kinds of systems into different industries, into different commercial sectors. But I think it's a slow, steady evolution, not a, gosh, we look back and in 3 years, the world has changed radically.
So Chris, on behalf of the Center for Digital Strategies, really wanted to thank you for taking some time to share your thoughts and insights with us today.
It was a pleasure.
And this has been Sprague Brody with the Center for Digital Strategies at Tuck.